Welcome, everybody, to the zoning board meeting of November 26th. My name is Marty Akins, I'm the chairman. Board members, Mr. Himmel, Ms. Barry, Mr. Chin, Mr. O'Brien, our clerk, Mrs. Griffin, and behind me, the Director of Inspectional Services, Mr. Conlon. If you have a cell phone, could you please put it on vibrate or silent so we don't interrupt the meeting. If anyone wants to talk, please step outside because it's hard to hear as it is. If anyone's gonna speak tonight, if you're gonna say 2 words, 1 word, you gotta stand up and take an oath. Mr. Chin, if you could, you have to stand up and take an oath. You don't take an oath, you're not gonna be able to speak here tonight. Anyone in back gonna speak? You're gonna speak, stand up, take an oath.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matters now and here?
Thank you. We have a set of minutes I have to redo from October.
Are we reading minutes then?
Yes.
I didn't,
What?
I did not realize that we'd be reading them.
Oh, that's okay. As long, I can just make a motion. We'll have a motion
Wait, the
to,
reading of the
yeah,
amended minutes. I
yeah.
apologize.
no, that's fine. That's fine. I just wanted anyone that wasn't here at that meeting when we talked about it and did it. But it'll be online, so. We're gonna do the amended minutes of October first.
October 8th.
Yeah, can I have a motion, please?
Motion to accept and waive the reading of the amended minutes for the regularly scheduled meeting of October 8th, 2024.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. We waived the last minutes, too.
Motion to accept and waive reading of the minutes for the regularly scheduled meeting of November 12th, 2024.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. No, that's fine, we don't have to read them, there was a few mistakes in it when we did it, so we had to redo it again, that's all, no big deal. Under ZBA, old business, ZBA Eric Gallus, for variance to demolish the existing detached 2-car garage and erect a detached 29-foot tall detached 2-car garage on the premise number 205 Presidential Lane. Is the applicant and his representative here. Name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, my name is Eric Gallus at 205 President's Lane. I have hard copies. Would any of you like off the?
We have them.
Okay, excellent. Anyone else? All right. So at the last one, the board recommended that we make it look less like a house and reduce the overall height. We have updated plans that do both those things. We've reduced the height from 22 feet, from 29 feet to 22 feet. It's a significant change in how much of a variance we're asking for.
Is there any questions? Any questions, board members?
No questions.
No questions?
No.
You can have a seat.
Thank you.
We had him redraw it and make it smaller than what it was the last time, so does anyone want to speak in favor? First call, second call. Third call closed. Any correspondence? I have correspondence from the DPW. We have reviewed the submittal of the above referenced project and have no comments. Is there anyone opposed or undecided? Anyone opposed or undecided to this project? First call. Second call. Third call closed. I'll be voting for it
In favor.
with the amended plans.
To 22 feet from 29.
Yeah.
In favor.
In favor with the changes.
Yes, with the amendment, I'm in favor. Agreed.
Have a motion, please.
ZBA 24-33, Eric Giles for variance to demolish existing detached 2-car garage, erect a detached 22-foot tall detached 2-car garage on the premises number 205 President's Lane, Quincy, Mass. I make a motion to accept as represented.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Thank you. Further on the new business. I'll get it, we'll just shoot it down. Here, you guys can do that one reading. ZBA 2455, Dan Hand for variance to enclose the 3 balconies attached on the townhomes above the garages on premises 1 Edwin Street in Quincy. Is the applicant their representative here?
Hi, good evening. I'm representing Mr. Lee, is my uncle, and he having this multifamily house. The structure of building the porch, it's wrong. So what we're gonna do, because right now it's in water, it's leaking at the garage. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna cut down, it's 7-inch high, so we have to cut down to 5 inch, so the water will be out instead of sitting in the porch. Because right now, all the multifamily in the garage, it's leaking, so we need to repair that ASAP.
Now, something about enclosing the whole thing, now you're just saying you're gonna cut it from 7 to 5 and let it leak off
Yes,
the roof, so you're not gonna enclose it.
we're gonna close it well too,
Why?
because
That should have been done in the beginning, but why do you wanna enclose it? More room for each condo, or what?
no, so we are not, hopefully there will be no water still sitting in the
But if
the
you
porch.
change the grade on your roof, the water's getting out of there anyway. So why do you wanna enclose it?
Oh, I think that is the best way that I discussed with Dan Hand. I think,
And what's gonna happen with those enclosures that you wanna do?
well, probably it just gonna be a regular, storage room or something.
Or what?
Storage room.
I didn't hear.
Storage.
Storage room. Yeah.
Storage,
Yeah.
storage,
Yeah.
so are you gonna put heat out there?
No
Is
heat.
there gonna
No
be
heat at all.
Windows, what are you putting in there for a design?
Well, Dan Hand told me just seal it up and that's it, and nothing else. So it's be a room.
I'd
Yeah.
like to see, I mean, I don't know. I think it was a good-looking building, and it was, the design was a little wrong, but they got patios out there, that's what that's for, summer patios, right?
Yeah.
And now you wanna enclose it and change the whole look of that project. So I don't know how anyone feels here, I wanna see the way it's done, I mean, you're building another room there is what you're building. It's not just enclosing a porch, it's just changing that whole project. You know, what are you gonna have for siding? Is it all gonna match perfect, everything's gonna match?
I think gonna be match perfect. Yeah.
Now, anyone have any questions?
Why not just change the grade of the roof? If it's leaking, why put whole dish, it's a new roof, it's a new room. And you're saying it's not gonna be heated?
It's not gonna be heated.
Spare any questions?
I think we need some more information on what
Okay.
you propose to do inside these proposed storage rooms.
Okay.
Because the grade of the existing roof could be corrected without putting an addition on. So we need more information to understand
Okay.
why you want the addition.
Yeah. So let me discuss that with Dan Hand. He's the
Okay.
yeah. So yeah.
Mr. Chin?
Yeah, what would the height be at the lowest portion inside the room?
Well, right now the porch is 7-inch higher than we expected. That's why the water is leaking inside instead of outside. So we're gonna cut down like 2 inch, it's gonna be in 5-inch. So
No, the inside, how high is that gonna be, the height? The height of
Inside
the
the
room?
storage room.
well, I'm not sure because I'm not the contractor. Dan Hand is the
okay.
contractor,
Alright.
so that's why.
So we're
So
gonna need some more info, okay.
Yeah.
So Brian, questions?
Yeah, no, same thing.
Yeah,
I like the way it looks now.
I do
With
too.
the porches out there.
I know.
If you could correct it somehow and keep it that way. Are the garages 2-car garages?
It's 3 cars garage, 3 multi-family house, and then in the middle one it's leaking because there's a big hole already.
Yeah,
It's in
no,
the
I know
waters,
the-
right?
I know the weekend, but I
Right.
mean, in the garage itself, is there storage room in the garage and 1 car?
Just 1 car, yeah.
And then the rest, the other side of it's storage? Is that what you do? And stairs?
No, well, on the first floor is a garage,
Yeah.
and the second one is the
No, I'm
porch.
not worried about the second.
Yeah.
In the first where the garage is, how many cars can fit in each garage?
1,
1.
yeah.
It's a big garage for 1 car. Is there storage room in there?
No storage, it's only a garage.
Just 1 car
Yeah.
garage and that's it?
That's it, yeah.
I need more, a lot more
All right,
detail on that.
Okay.
What do we have for January, because I'm not gonna be here the next meeting.
So we have January 14th,
And what's the one after that? I know, kinda, he wants to get this done, I know.
and January
28th.
28th.
Can you get us a new set of plans with dimensions and the height of the ceilings and all that, what you're putting inside?
Okay, yeah, I will talk to the,
If we do this January 14th, how many on the schedule for January 14th? do you know?
Right now, 2.
Oh, great. So we can do this January 14th, a week before that, January 7th. She has to have those plans in so she can get them to us.
okay,
So we get them before we go to the meeting and we know what we're talking about.
okay, all right,
Because if we don't get them, we're gonna push it off again, okay?
okay, all right, thank you.
All right.
Yep,
Yeah, we those plans right after New Year's, so I can get them in the mail to the board members.
in the afternoon, understand, it's okay, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Before we make a motion, is there anyone here that wants to speak about this? Is anyone here for that reason? No? Okay, we'll do it January 14th then.
Motion?
All right, please.
ZBA-2455, Dan Hand for variance to enclose 3 balconies attached to the townhouses above the garages on the premises, 1 Edwin Street, Quincy. Make a motion to postpone to January 14th, 2025.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so moved. Further under tonight's agenda. ZBA 2455, Dan Ham for variance, no, oh Jesus, sounds familiar. ZBA 2456, Fred Kelly for a variance finding a special permit to expand the existing dwelling footprint and construct second and third stories on the premise number 90 Rhoda Street. The applicant and representative here. Man, you're up. Name and address for the record, please.
Good evening. My name is Chi-Man for Hardiman Design Group. Civil engineer working on this project, representing the client. With me tonight is actually the owner, Fred Kelly, and also the architects. They will be able to answer any questions if the board has any questions. So, the property is 90 Rhoda Street. The owner's proposing to add a second story addition on the existing building and also adding like a little side, I can show you right here, additions to the side. Basically, the majority of the building is going to be on the same footprint. The existing building has a number of existing non-conforming items, such as the front yard setback. I explained to you why, because the street, the actual pavement is all the way out here, but the lot line is set back all the way close to the building, and that's pretty much consistent on the whole neighborhood on their conditions.
So they're not, are they going to move the line to pave on there, or they're not?
No, they are not moving the line.
All right, because your driveway's,
The driveway
Yeah,
extends out to the.
right, it's all the way out,
So,
right.
yeah. And other than that, we are meeting all the, well, there are some, the front yard setback is pretty much the,
4.7 was it?
yeah,
And I'm looking at it, trying to figure that out, it's like 30 feet away, and I'm going.
yes, that's kind of like a
Got a
unique
parking lot
situation.
here out front, 2 or 3 cars, and saying, I'm missing something here. All right,
So, also the existing lot area is not conforming to existing R1 zone and frontage as well. So, what we're asking for, findings that, or variance that, the design is not detrimental to the neighborhood. And also, we're asking for a special permit because the site is within the flood zone. We have already get the Conservation Commission approval on the design, all meet the flood design standard. The existing basement is going to be filled. And it's going to be just a crawl space underneath, and we are putting it flood vent. So, having said that, again, we have a long driveway, but technically the parking is not within the lot. So at the same time, we're asking for parking variance just that we are,
2 slots.
yeah, we do have the space, but, you know, they are not on the.
I know, I mean, you got plenty of room there, I know.
So,
I mean, and no one, there's plenty of parking on the street down there too, but unless it's snowing out, but place is, it's a busy street.
I have a map here showing the neighborhood. So all the abutting neighbors are on the same conditions on the
Yeah.
front yard setback.
Yeah, I know, I was looking at it, and I'm looking the roll back, and I'm reading 4 feet, and I'm going, what the heck?
So, if Sherry would like to go over some of the architectural design.
Sure, that'd be great.
Hello, I'm Cheryl Tagayas with Spalding Tagayas Architects, based in Boston.
Your address, please?
The business address?
Your address,
My-
any address is
Oh, any,
fine.
okay,
Wherever I can get
46 Waltham Street, Suite 2A, Boston, 02118.
Thank you.
As Chi mentioned, the intent really is to build on the existing foundation. We'll remove the slab in the basement, fill it with fill, and put a mud slab in so that we no longer have a basement given the floodplain. But that serves as a good foundation for building above. So 2.5 stories. The first floor, the footprint, existing footprint's about 600 square feet, rather. And we want to add to that to put a stair primarily, but also to add a small utility room, since no utilities will be in the basement, and then a half bath on that floor, and have a porch facing the street. The second floor would have 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, and a laundry room, and the top floor a master suite. There's an existing deck at the back. We'd like to keep that deck as well. The height will be a total of 35 feet. Architecturally, it's designed to be a traditional New England single-family residential with shingles and double-hung windows. And with that, I'm happy to take any
What are you
questions.
putting on the outside of it? Just curious.
I'm sorry?
What are you putting on the outside?
To face it?
Yeah,
Shingles, cedar shingles.
cedar, okay, great, thank you. Any questions?
You gonna keep the existing foundation, just fill it in?
Yes.
With free flow or cement or?
No, it would be a mud slab, basically by code, so that you don't have any from the
Yep.
framing on the bottom, be exposed, but below that would be fill.
Okay, thanks.
Any questions?
No question. I'm good, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone that would like to speak in favor? First call? Second call? Third call? There's a letter from the council here I'd like to be read into the record.
From David McCarthy, 1125, Kathleen Griffin, Robert F. Conlon. Dear Board, my apologies for not being able to attend this meeting in person, but the holiday week schedule had too many conflicts in regards to ZBA 24-56. New business. I support the expansion of the existing dwelling footprint, construction of the second and third story addition. The home is a cottage, and expansion will create adequate living space for the Kelly family. Flood protection measures, of course, need to be taken as the parcels above the marsh, which floods periodically at extreme high tides. A correction application needs to be changed to 1-2, section of the city, God's Country House Neck. Thank you and happy Thanksgiving. David McCarthy, Ward 1, Councilor.
Is there anything? Call that part of the hearing closed. I got a letter here from the CBA that they have DPW, they have reviewed the above referenced project and have no comments. Is there anyone opposed or undecided? First call, second call? Everyone's quiet tonight. Must be one project. Third call, we'll call that part of the hearing closed. I'll be voting in favor.
I'm voting in favor.
In favor.
If it's an improvement, I'll be in favor.
Also,
Have a motion, please.
ZBA 2456, Fred G. Kelly for variance finding special permit to expand the existing dwelling's footprint, construct a second and third story addition on the premise number 90, Rhoda Street, Quincy, Massachusetts. I make a motion to accept as presented.
second,
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Further on to tonight's agenda, ZBA 2466. Adam Kepczynski, for a variance and special permit to add a third floor to the existing dwelling on the premises number 170 Rhoda Street. Is the applicant a representative here? Please step forward. Mike, name and address for the record, please.
Hi, my name is Andres Bernal, business address in 40 Court Street in Boston.
Can you say your address again?
Oh, sorry, maybe let me repeat my business address, actually. It's 754 VFW Parkway with Blue Circle Studio.
West Roxbury?
West Roxbury, yes.
You have the floor. Tell us what you want to do down there.
Well, thank you for your time. I think it's pretty simple. I think I'm an architect. Our client wants to expand his home, and he is looking to expand and have a three-story, a three-story house. We're designing the house so it has it tries to follow the spirit of the 2.5-story. That is what the zoning's requesting. So you can tell that. If you look at the elevations of the drawings, that we essentially are trying to do architecturally, we're trying to design the house so it feels like a 2.5-story house.
From the front.
From the front, right. So the request, but it is, at the end of the day, it is a 3-story house, so we're here essentially for that. I think we are also, there is a need for additional parking, which the site actually is within ledge, so we believe that we would want to keep just the 2 existing parking spaces.
So you have 3 there. You got a trailer and 2 trucks, right?
Yeah, I believe.
There's really 3 spaces out in front of your house.
It's pretty much, yes. I mean, yeah. But essentially, what we're trying to say here is that we don't want, we can't add more parking spaces.
Are you gonna shrink that parking that's there? Or are you gonna leave it the way it is?
I believe we're gonna leave it the way it is, right? Yeah.
And I would say it's almost,
Yeah.
3 cars could fit in there easy, I think. But
Right.
that's just me, maybe, I don't know. Maybe you don't get the 9-foot space, you get an 8-foot space.
Yeah.
You know, like, my question here is, I know who owned the house, I've been in that house many times. You got a basement, you have a first floor, you have a second floor already. Now, 3rd floors aren't allowed in Res A. Now, what are you doing with that basement? That basement staying? Are you gonna do something with it? Are you gonna not use it? I don't know.
I mean, the plan, I mean, there's no sort of additional work to the basement. It just
So you're
stays
just
as a
gonna leave it the
basement.
way it is?
Yes.
Is there any way we can put 2 6-foot dormers up there, or whatever, to get what you want for your height without making it all the way across a 3rd story?
Well, yeah, I mean, we looked into it. I think, as you may imagine, the quality of a bedroom in the basement and, just, is not really what our client's looking for. So that's why, we sort of moved on from that option and decided to go.
And I understand if you weren't doing something in the basement, but there was a bedroom in the basement, I don't know if it's still there. But why wouldn't you just go left where them rocks are, take some of that rock out, and your first floor is up almost above those rocks anyway, and put an addition up 2.5 stories? Why wouldn't you go left?
Well, I mean,
I mean, it's a little cost to it.
Yeah, well, I guess
get
that's what,
that,
I
get
mean,
that.
yes, you could, I mean, there's a number of things that could be done, but of course, as everyone may imagine, that there's cost that is involved with this, and we're trying to figure out for our client how to expand their home in a most cost-effective way that we're trying to make sure that it fits with the neighborhood, it has the architectural qualities that the neighbors would want, and then that Adam can actually, afford to build.
So, please, you'll have your chance to speak. Are you the owner?
Yep.
Oh, come on up, sorry. I thought you were just gonna talk about it and name and address for the record.
Adam Kopczynski, 170.
Can you speak into the microphone,
Yeah,
please?
please,
Adam Kopczynski, 170 Roda Street.
yeah.
So just to answer your question, why not to go sideways? We're trying to add 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms so we can accommodate for, joining our families. So we're looking at this option, just there's not enough space to actually do it, going sideways. So it's cheaper to go up,
I'm not
with
saying
more
it isn't,
spaces.
but when you look, the guy behind you, and I get that, it's 3 stories. Well, he don't have a basement.
Yeah.
You don't have, his first floor is, second floor is what it is. So you get 2.5 stories here because of the floodplain, but, I mean, I understand what you wanna do down there. I just don't want 50 people coming up here wanting the same thing. And you are different, you're completely different, because your property does go down. It does go down the back, so you really, and I understand what you wanna do down there, and I wanna keep you in Quincy, and I wanna keep you in Housing. I happen to live in that section of the Quincy, and I think it's beautiful, but, is there any way we could do anything with this addition, or the 3rd floor you wanna put up to make it so it doesn't look like 3 stories? I know the front's 2.5, but there's still a 3rd stories behind it, you can see it from the street.
So I thought we did try to make it look like it's 2.5. If I make it smaller, you're just not gonna get 2nd bedroom upstairs. This was the thing. We tried, if
I mean, you can overhang 3 feet each side, you can do whatever you want up there. You know? You just build it right, you can do what you want.
Yeah, architecturally, that was our goal, to really get there, and I think you see the front elevation, which is probably the one that most folks would see, and, you see essentially a roof, a pitch roof, and then 2 dormers. That's essentially what you would see now. When you look at it from the inside, those walls would actually be going, essentially up. I personally have done this a number of times, and the outcome at the end of the day, if you design it well and you detail the project well, it would, for the most people, when you walk down, you're gonna see it and you're gonna think it's a 2.5 story.
I get it, but still, when you get that one look, and the guy behind you's got that one look, it's 3 stories. I mean, it's 3 stories. On the left side, it don't look like that, on the right side, it don't look like it. The left side looks like a 2-story. I get it. What are we doing with the solar panels on the roof? You're gonna put them back up? Okay. I know you're in a tough spot, and I know you're trying to put a family together and live there, and I'll tell you, it's a beautiful place where you live, right there. You got the water right, you can walk down 3 minutes, and you're in the water. Boats, everything, so. I just wanna see if there's anything we could do to make it look a little better. Whatever you gotta do with a little design, even if it's a 3rd story, is there any way you could, I don't know. You're the architect, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, we can try to introduce some similar language that we have made perhaps in the front, that we can.
Just make it, so it kind of fades away.
So it fades away, yeah. So
Yeah.
we use the pitch roof sort of idea. Again, it's not, it's a, call it a symbolic pitch roof that we're trying to work
I
with
get it,
here.
and you get rocks there, you get all that, that's where it's, it's the crusher. That's what it is, the crusher.
Yeah.
And I get it, and I know. And if you can work with us with that, I'd be happy to vote for you, 1 out of 5. But
Yeah, we'll be
any other
happy to work
questions?
architecturally to make sure that it's, again, detailed well, that is like 50%, and the other one, just to make sure that we do the
Just to
architectural.
fade it, somehow fade it.
Yep.
Just so it's,
And you're
whatever
right,
you're gonna do,
you
that's
could go
fine.
out 2 or 3 feet.
Yeah, and you can go
And
up 2 or
make
3
up
feet.
for any
Right.
wall loss that you're gonna have, but,
Right.
yeah,
Or
if
3
you
feet
tweak it,
inside.
I'd be happy with it.
I'd love to see some improvement on the design. When I compare the existing to what you propose, 3 of the sides truly look like 3 full stories. And I think the front as design looks a little awkward.
Mr. Chin?
Is this the existing or proposed? This
No, that's,
This
it's
is
underneath, it'll
proposed,
say, there's
this
two
is
pages,
existing.
like you
Two
flip them up and
pages.
back.
So the reason, I think one of the reasons why the rear elevation looks so tall is because of the fireplace, the chimney as well. It's just like it's just like this little thing that goes straight up, and your eye just goes straight up with it, giving the height there even more pronouncement. So I don't know if you could do anything about that, but I think if it were modified a bit, so it didn't look quite so tall in the back, I would be in favor of your application.
Mr. O'Brien,
Now, again, I think what you're gonna be is you're gonna be above the one behind you. You know what I mean? You're creeping up. It's getting up and up and up. You're gonna, because of the way the elevation of the one behind you is down, and you're up. And he's 3 and you're gonna be 3, so technically it's gonna look like you're 4 or 5 when you look at it from the street. You see my point? He's 3.
Right, right,
And you're
yeah,
gonna be
there's
free, you're gonna be
elevation
in front.
change within the topography.
Huh?
There's an elevation change between,
Yeah.
between the
and there
topography.
is, and there's like, what are you going, 30 feet, correct?
Something, yes,
30 feet.
Yeah, but-
He's up there to like, you know, my buddy John owns house, like 34 down there.
Oh, yeah.
He is way up there.
One other
And
thing
he's
while
got
you're,
the roof deck on his house over there.
right, one other thing while you're at it, you're showing the back property to be the proposed building on your survey plan here.
oh,
I was confused when I looked at it, I'm sitting there saying, what the hell is that?
What the hell is this?
Okay?
okay, but we'll take a look at that. But I think what I'm hearing is that in essence, the question here is more about sort of architecturally, the aesthetics, making that work, but the overall sort of concept behind it, it's,
We understand that, we understand where you are down there, and the lots are smaller, and you're trying to get, you're putting a blended family together, and you need the room. We get it, we
right.
get it, we
That's-
want you in Quincy. You know, but we wanna make it look like it belongs there with the rest of the houses. You know, there is a 1.5 on your left, and there's a 1.5 on your right. So, we can't have this thing just, you know what I mean? Try to make it as best you can, I guess.
Yep.
How about January 14th? Does that work?
Motion?
Yeah. There's gonna be a different design, so there's no sense in speaking on it right now until, he comes back with a new design, if you were here for this project. All right.
ZBA 2466, Adam Kipzinski, variance and special permit flood at a third floor existing dwelling on the premises numbered 170 Rhoda Street, The Neck,
Tom Mack.
Brescia. Make a motion to come back with modified plans, January 14th, 2025.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Scully, how are you, brother?
Just gonna say I was in favor of the plan.
I know. I talked to the counselor today. He told me you were coming up to speak in favor, of it, and I get it. I get the whole thing. It's just, these people, you gotta make it look just a little better, and I even talked to the counselor about it, and that's when he started. I says, what do you think? And he says, it could be a little smaller up there and make it look a little better, people on the left and right. Well, just so you know, the council was down there and we talked about it. But thanks for coming up and spending your time. We'll see you the 14th, Mr. Kelly. Thank you. Further on to tonight's agenda, ZBA 2468. G-Man for a variance finding special permit to construct a 2-story addition to the existing dwelling and expand the driveway to accommodate more vehicles on the premises numbered 4 Small Street in Quincy. Can we take a 2-minute break first? All right, 3 minutes, all right?
Follow it.
We could sign those, please.
Everyone's back, yeah? One more to sign.
Yep, you're gonna pass that back up. Oh,
Supposed to go to this?
that's for the next.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Kimball, and
Everyone all set for Thanksgiving? We all set? Yeah, turkey's basting, what's going on?
It's crazy.
There's something wrong with watching more turkeys today. I don't know if the kid's coming, so we gotta drop it off.
Oh, okay, I'll put part of the file, thank you.
Defrosting my turkeys. I at least remember to take them out of the freezer the other day.
Get those homemade recipes going tonight, tomorrow. Thank you, Madam Clerk. All right, why don't we get back to business here? 4 Small Street. You're up. Name and address for the record.
Good evening, my name is Chi Man from Hardiman Design Group, civil engineer working on this project 4 Small Street in Quincy. Business address 1285 Washington Street in Weymouth, Mass. Represent our client, Phyllis Yakupanji, and what he's proposing to do. Currently, he has a small lot over in, you can look at the prints here, as number 4 Small Street, which should give you a perspective. I have a blow up of the assessors map. This is the existing lot. One lot in from West Quantum Street is the school right here, and also the apartment building in the back. And so this is the lot. It's a 50 by 100 lot. We're showing the existing building. What he's proposing to do is add a 2-story addition to the back. Part of the lot, the front corner of the lot will be in the flood zone, but the building itself our flood zone is higher than elevation 10, which is the flood elevations. So the existing building is out of the flood zone, and also the addition is going to be out of the flood zone as well. So currently the building is a 1-story, 2-bedroom. It's outgrowing the families, and family expecting some extended members coming in. With me tonight is Keith Brewer, he's the contractor, and also Burke, who is the nephew of the owner who is living there right now. And the owner is expecting the mother and also the sister and another nephew moving from Turkey into this house.
And the neighbors around the corner and the sisters. I'm all set.
So the owner been living there for like 20 years, same house. So he's a long-time resident. He's just trying to stay in Quincy and Grove in the same lot. So the addition is going to be keeping within the existing setback. The building is not existing non-conforming. We have basically carried the same wall, pushing back, extending back. We are going to meet the existing rear yard setback. Rear yard require 20, we have like 26 feet. And as for parking, I believe we have 5 bedrooms. For the 5 members who is going to be living there, we require 4 parking. So I show extended driveway, we can have tandem parking, but like talking to the owner, they really expecting 2 cars. So we just want to show it so we can stack 4 cars.
Hey, I'm not worried about them, I'm worried about the next person that buys it, but go ahead.
Okay, so basically we're asking for again, the existing non-conforming, we're extending the building with the existing setback. And the building is going to be 2-story within the height requirement. And asking for, findings that we are not more than no detrimental to the neighborhood. As you can also see, that I have a assessor's map of the neighborhood. the size of the building is pretty compatible for some of the building on the same blocks. So we can go over the architectural design of the building. So what you show here is the existing footprint of the building with the 2 bedrooms. This is the elevations of the building. This is the existing building out here, so he's adding to the back with the second story, carry the same existing roof line up to the new addition. And this is the front of the building. It's going to be changing up all the siding. It's planning to use cedar impressions, composite siding.
Cedar impression?
Yes.
Nice.
And the rear of the building is just extending from the existing foundations back. It's the floor plans with the living room, dining room, kitchens, home office. We're putting 2 bedrooms in the back of the additions and 3 bedrooms on the second floor of the additions.
So there's 5 bedrooms and a home office with a full bath, correct? The full
Yes.
bath is in the office?
Yes.
Why? To me, it's a bedroom.
Well, I asked
I mean-
the questions, but I guess, you know, if the
Yeah.
board feel that the
Yeah, well-
bathroom has to be we can entertain that.
I get it.
Yeah.
I know. Is there, I just like to see another, I mean, I hate to, I mean, if we could do pavements or something to the right side of the front of the house, like even like 7 feet, so you got enough to put 2 cars there, and then the other can go in back, because there's, I know, no one's gonna use tandem parking with 3 or 4 cars.
Yeah, we can
Not gonna
definitely
do-
do that
it's
with
just- It's
pavers.
not done. Huh?
We can definitely use paver
Yeah.
on the front of the building.
On the right side?
Just to move that driveway a little bigger, so you think someone's gonna move the car all the time? They're not, they're gonna park on the street because they're going out 3 hours and you get another car on the street, and snow and everything else. If it ever snows again, I don't know if it's gonna snow again, but.
Yeah. And again,
That'd be
we
nice.
expect only 2 cars, but
Yeah.
yeah, we are showing 4
No, I
cars.
know, it's just,
We can
right, but
definitely
you're
do the
gonna-
pavers.
And you get people coming over, and I get it. You're gonna have some parking to get them off the street, but, you know, all kids grow up too, right? Those are my questions right now.
I don't have any questions right now.
I notice you have no windows on the front of the house on the second floor.
What's the questions again? Sorry.
There's no windows on the second floor?
On the
Front facade?
Yes, the front is continuous, the existing roof slope up to the additions. So you see the windows, we don't see the windows on the side, yeah. I think we
It
can,
just goes up like a little bit. It goes up to meet to the roof line, which, and then the additions on the back there.
Like a wedding cake?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, but a lot more expensive.
Maybe.
Maybe, you're right.
See, my concerns are the same as yours, the bathroom and the home office, as well
Yeah.
as the lack of parking outside from 4 tandem spaces.
I mean, if we could do something to put something up front there, just 7 feet of pavers, 8 feet, you know, just to get a car beside it,
Maybe they can work something out.
make it look, yeah, I mean, I hate doing that.
we can definitely do the 2-car lengths of pavers driveway and
Yeah.
also the front
Right,
front
and to
step
make it
on
look nice
the
like that,
walkway
then-
as
Then
well.
the rest is fine, that'd be fine by me.
So you were asking for one in the front and take one off the back?
No, he's gonna go right back, he's gonna put pavers,
To the
2
left?
car lengths up in, and he's gonna do pavers for the other car up front, so you get 3 spaces and 2, someone later on. There's five
Oh, yeah, no, I
bedrooms in
agree.
there,
Yeah.
and I think we're gonna need it. If you don't do it now, it's not gonna get done.
Ever.
No, there'll be cars everywhere someday. We'll be dead, we'll be dead.
will be.
We'll be dead.
Thanks for
Our
that
cards
thought.
will be ticketed, our card will be punched.
Thanks for that thought.
There you go. Death and taxes, buddy, that's it. That's it?
Other than that, I'm good.
You can have a seat. Is there anyone want to speak in favor? First call, second call, third call. Call that part of hearing closed. I got a letter here, we'll read into the DPW. Oh, okay. I have two letters here, I'll just put in here, Manley, 1125, 8 Small Street. Man Wiley, 3 Small Street, they're in favor. We'll put that in the record.
Number 4 Small Street, case number ZBA-2468, reviewed the submittal for the above referenced project, and our comments are as follow. Number 1, specify how much impervious area will be increased due to development. I think you addressed some of that. Will there be any fill or change of grade due to development? 3, proposed project should comply with the flood zone construction requirements since it's located on the flood zone on FRRM and ALOMA is required if the applicant wants to be exempt from the flood zone construction requirements. 4, upon completion of the project, as-built plans showing all utilities, building footprints may be submitted along with a digital file, and elevation certificate should also be submitted if the property is in the flood zone.
Call that part of the hearing closed. Is anyone opposed or undecided? First call, opposed or undecided? Second call? Third call closed. If he does that, I mean, I'm
How
all
about that
set.
bathroom in the office? It's a bed.
And parking's even more, that's why I wanted the parking, because if they got 5 bedrooms, then you're gonna have parking no matter who buys the house. People move for different reasons real fast, or think you're gonna stay the rest of your life, and something happens, and next thing you know, you're in Chicago, so.
You can't get sick and then you die.
And you can't get sick and then you die. There you go.
Well,
And the house is for sale.
It's certainly an improvement.
Oh, I mean, that house needs a lot of work. But, if we get all that parking, the other bathroom don't bother me.
Okay.
For the record, I think it's a 6-bedroom house, if we allow the full bath, with the home office with the full bath.
2.5-story house, I just think, you know,
Change that door half bath and keep.
that's
it
what you
up.
want? Is that what you want?
Well, it's on the first floor next to the kitchen, so a half
Yeah, you gotta
bath
have a half bath.
would make more sense
Yeah.
than a full bathroom there.
Yeah.
I think it should be a half bath that feeds into the common area, not a suite in the bedroom.
Want a door, put an extra door that you want?
Change the door.
Change the door coming off of the common area, so it's not a in-suite.
Okay with that?
So half bath instead of the home office bath that opens from the dining area
All right, so from the dining area, they'll put a door, get rid of the other door.
and get rid of
in
the shower.
office, So, guys in his computer, he's gonna go outside, come back in.
So half bath, move the door.
All right, after.
All right.
When you're in the half bath, you gotta remove the door?
And they have 2 doors, in and out? So if you're in the office, and if you're in the kitchen,
The only thing worse would be a pay to.
right? I get it. We all set, guys? That it?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien,
I'm good,
comments?
I'm good, thank you.
Good? We have a motion, please? You all set with that? Okay.
ZBA 24-68, a van variance finding special permit. Constructed 2-story addition to the existing dwelling, extended driveway to accommodate more vehicles on the premise, number 4 Small Street, with the addition of pavers to include 2 more spaces?
No, the first 2 on the left.
First
and
2 on the left
one in
will
front
be
of the house.
paved. The
And one in front of the house.
one in front of the house, the office full bath will be changed to a half bath with entry from the main area of the house.
So Brian,
Second?
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Thank you.
Thank you. DBA 2476, Jeremy Patrick Foley for variance to demolish. Huh? What did I miss?
You're right, I apologize.
Oh, no, because I just read that one twice. I said I better move. Yeah, you too. ZBA 2476, Attorney Patrick Foley for a variance to demolish the existing single and two-family home and construct 5 new townhouses with 13 parking spaces on premise number 97 Sumner Street. Counselor, you're up.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board. My name is Patrick Foley, business address 265 Willard Street. I'm the attorney for the project here tonight. I'm joined here tonight by Brian Donahue, who is our architect, and Eric Bradis, who's our engineer, and Helen Shiner, who is our owner's representative. The property we were here to discuss tonight is 97-101 Sumner Street, which is located in the residential B zoning district of the city. I'd like to mention, this project has already had a full planning site plan review. We've had 2 planning board hearings, which got a positive recommendation from the board. And also back in June, with Councilor Ash, we had a neighborhood meeting which was attended by a good amount of people. After that meeting, between the applicant and the owner's representative, Helen, they worked with the neighbors a lot, eased some of their concerns, made some corrections, and I think we really have a really good project to go forward with here tonight. The applicant is a local father-son construction company. They're lifelong Quincy residents that take great pride in doing work in the city and taking distressed looking properties and just really making them look really, really nice and really create some buildings that the neighborhood can really be proud of. 97-101 Sumner Street is on a 15,532 square foot lot. Anybody that's familiar with Sumner Street knows that Sumner Street is mostly all multifamily homes, as well as a bunch of residential developments, many which are more dense than what we're proposing here tonight. What the applicant is proposing to do here tonight is to remove the existing structure of the single-family home that's on the property right now and the two-family home that's on the property right now. And the conditions of those properties, the owner's representative, Helen, she's gonna get into a little bit more detail, but just what these conditions were like, especially in the single-family, when the applicant bought it. But what the applicant's gonna be seeking to do here tonight is take those down and replace it with 5 townhouses. And I just wanna, for the record, correct it. I know we put in an updated brief. There's 12 parking spots. We went to planning with 13. We had to give a spot back to get it approved. So it's 5 units with 12 spots. We still don't need a variance for that. And the layout's gonna be, is it's gonna be 3 buildings. We've got building A, building B, building C. Building A is gonna have 1 unit with 2 garage spots. Unit B is gonna have 2 spots, and then 2 units with 2 spots in each unit. And then building C is basically gonna be a mirror of that. And Brian's gonna go over the floor plans for those buildings as well. I really believe our proposal is actually gonna improve the parking situation that's down there right now. Because when you really think about it right now, you have the 2-family home, which was all apartments, which was a 2 and a 3 bedroom, I believe. And that driveway only held about 2 cars. And there are apartments, there are renters, you had multiple people living in there, a lot more so than if they were owners. You go over to the single-family home right there, that's a driveway that holds about, 1 car. So right now, currently in the lot, you have 3 units with 3 parking spots. We're increasing it by 2 units, but we're actually giving you 9 parking spots as well. Which is when those buildings were there on Sumner Street, you can't park on Sumner Street, and it was causing cars to go over to the side streets to park. So I really think that this is an improvement for the parking situation in the neighborhood. And I know I touched on it earlier, but Sumner Street is mostly all multifamilies and residential developments. So we really believe this project's gonna fit into the character of the neighborhood. I mean, right across the street, 90 Sumner, you have 12 units on 17,000 square feet. Right down the street, you have 153 Sumner with 13 units. And then we have 4 units going in right now at 163 Sumner on a lot that's a little bit smaller than we have here tonight. So as you can see, this really does fit into the character of the neighborhood. I'm gonna have Eric come up right now and just go over some of the civil plans.
Counselor, would they make you give back a space where?
What's that?
I can point that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could.
Sure. So just for the record, Eric Bradnisi, Engineering Alliance, Saugus, Mass, 194 Central Street. To answer the question real quick, the space that was given back was originally shown. We had a single guest space outside this area. There was some concern during our process with the planning board for the ability for a car to move and turn out of there. And so since we were still meeting our required 12 parking spaces, it was easier to remove it rather than try to find a way to navigate a car with that space there. So the plan you're looking at now, you can see the orange beigeish color of the building footprints. The gray is our driveway area and parking, our 2 guest space parking areas. And then we've got quite a bit of green space around the exterior. So the site will be accessed from Sumner Street as previously. We're going to be changing the curb cut so it's just the access point you see right in the middle of the site there. As Patrick mentioned, it's so building A, the top right-hand corner, that's 1 single townhouse unit, and then building B and building C are each 2 townhouse units. Each unit will have 2 car garages on the first floor that you'll access from that driveway area. The driveway area is going to be porous asphalt, so it's done for stormwater purposes. Water can drain directly into the asphalt. That is for the driveway area. We do have a separate stormwater system for the roof areas of all the buildings. It's been designed to meet all the stormwater standards for the state and the city, and was reviewed extensively by peer review through the planning board process. I would just like to show one other plan. We do have a landscaping plan here. We're going to have some extensive landscaping for screening purposes and to just really kind of brighten up the area around these buildings. So all those green spots you see there are trees or shrubs that'll be planted around the area. As far as the site layout goes as well, I think Patrick had mentioned we're here for a couple of variances. I believe it's for lot area per dwelling unit and then front, rear, and side yard setbacks. And I think with that, I can let Brian present the buildings to you guys as well. Oh, I can take that.
Good evening, members of the board. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, happy Thanksgiving to you all. I really don't have that much to present. Most of the pertinent information was presented already by Patrick and Eric. I'll just go into a little bit of a description of the buildings themselves. Firstly, the existing site is, if you've been by there and you know this part of the city, that house and the single family are relatively blighted, and I think what we're doing here is a tremendous improvement on what is there. And also, to reiterate the character of Sumner Street and that neighborhood is multifamily from townhouses to flats and apartment buildings. So I think it's in the character of the neighborhood. The cover sheet is really a rendering from Summer Street, so that shows a view down the driveway towards the buildings. So what we've tried to do is make it more of a residential scale by having a 2-story massing on the street with a wraparound porch, which I think gives it more of a single-family character, although we know that there are 2 duplexes and a single here. The basic layouts of the units are 3 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. I'll show you the floor plans in a second. But what we also tried to do was make it a little bit more distinctive and add some color to the street as well. So each building has a very bold green, red, or a blue coloration. These would be hardy plank siding, architectural shingles, and black, probably trim, double hung windows. The layout is a little bit of a departure from your typical garage under townhouse. What we're proposing is a 2-car garage for each of the units, plus the 2 guest spaces. And then we have, in the middle, you can see that there's an entry foyer and an office or a bonus room. And then the stair brings you up to the main living space with the primary master bedroom, which is in the 2-story space that you saw in the rendering in the front. So it's an open plan, kitchen, dining, living space, and then the primary bedroom on the first floor. And then on the second floor, it's 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. It's typical for each unit, whether it's a duplex or the single, they all have the same floor plan. firm believer that a picture's worth 1,000 words. The renderings show the two-dimensional building elevation. So this is a little bit more of a depiction, an aerial perspective on the left. Again, the view down the drive, and the other view in the middle is looking at the building facing the front, and then the view from the back. The building massings each have 15-foot setback. Now, I have to say that the egress stairs and the front porches are into that setback, so the actual setbacks are seeking relief. The main massing of the buildings is 3 stories, but we brought the eave line down to help bring the scale of each building down. The circulation through the site, although it may seem tight, it works with all the drives, and there's all kinds of room for turning around. And as Eric mentioned, we did remove the one space that was a little bit awkward at the end of the site. So we do have 2 cars for each unit, plus 2 guest spaces. I think that's, in general, the architectural presentation. If you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them, or if not, Helen Shiner is here as the owner's rep, and I think she wants to give a little bit of background on the neighborhood meeting and their concerns and what we've done to work with them.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and fellow board members. My name is Helen Shiner. I live at 23 Copley Street in Quincy. I'm here as the owner's representative. I'm going to borrow Eric's drawing, and then I'll give you just an overview of kind of what we've been through and how we worked through some of the concerns. So let me start by telling you, we were very fortunate to have a lot of the neighbors and abutters attend the community meeting. Out of that initial meeting, there were some questions and some concerns, and we took time with Councilor Ash and also spoke to each one of the neighbors individually. One of the abutters is here, and she may be able to speak to kind of how we resolved her concerns. So there were 2 main concerns. The first one was if you're facing the property on the left-hand side, the gentleman that owned that home, he was concerned about the trees that are there. So there's a number of full-grown trees there. So he was concerned that he was going to lose his kind of shielding from the property. He wasn't going to have that kind of privacy. So we went out and went through each one of the full-size trees that are there. There are 2 there that are diseased and will probably come down. There's probably another 2 or 3 that will remain. He agreed that they should come down, so we're good on that. We talked to him about the different plantings that we had talked about on having the property. Then the second concern from a feedback perspective was Ms. Ranieri. Her and her mother own 2 properties right there. They were concerned about their fence. They have an existing chain link fence at the end of their property. So this is where we get into a little bit of the neighborhood stuff. So at this end of the property, this is all grass, and it's open. The neighborhood kids kind of go in there and play a little bit. The neighbors were concerned they were going to put up these big fences. We were going to close off that whole area. They were going to lose that look and feel of the neighborhood. So we worked with everybody. We said that we are going to put privacy fencing on, but it will be on the left-hand side and the right-hand side. We're going to leave that back corner open so that they still get the look and feel. But it also allows our new owners that are going to live in these townhouses some privacy. So they're not looking into the yards in the immediate area of their neighbors right next door. There are a couple of concerns. So when we had the property surveyed, there is some encroachment by 2 properties. So that one of them, the driveway kind of creeps over into our property, and then the other one is the same thing. So people have used this for a number of years, thought it was their land, whatever the case may be. So we spoke to everybody and explained to them, we're not going to change that. The developers of the property, they are going to grant easements so that these people will have the right. They don't have to tear out their driveway or change where their fences are. But the owner needs to retain his right of ownership of that land. So we worked with the neighbors and said, everything's going to stay the way it is. You can leave your driveway where it is. We will, at our expense, have the easements written up and kind of work through that. Ms. Ranieri's concern was about her existing chain link fence and whether or not that was going to be moved. So we explained to her fence is her fence. It's going to stay there. She wants to keep that fence. She has some concerns about snow being piled up against it and those kind of things. The fence is gonna stay, it's her fence. We have no intention of changing it. And like I said, that back corner down where you're at Cyril Street, the kids, throw their bikes there, they run around and all that. We have clearly explained to them it's private property and it's gonna be private property. But from a look and feel perspective, we're not gonna change that. We're not gonna put a big fence so that they're staring at that. Just to touch back on the existing houses that were there and the tenants that were there. So the single-family home, I'm pretty proud of this. So the single-family home that's here, it was an older gentleman that lived there. I think he was maybe early 80s. He lived in deplorable conditions that he never should have been there. So he didn't have anybody, any family members that were kind of looking out for him. And when the owners of the property bought it, they were just horrified about what was going on. So they did work closely with the city, and we were able to find some resources, and this gentleman is now living in senior housing with people there to kind of look out for him. I mean, when I tell you it was deplorable, it should have been, somebody should have caught on to what was going on a long time ago, and they didn't. And the two-family was not in much better condition. The neighbors, the immediate neighbor across the street, she approached us and said she was so glad that we were gonna do this because it helps improve the value of her property. I mean, it really, if you've driven by, and I don't know if you have, it's in really tough shape.
Yep.
So just to recap, we worked very well with the neighbors, in my opinion. We got positive feedback from them. Councilor Ash tried to address everybody's concerns. I've remained in contact with each and every one of the abutters that had questions. One of the other questions that came back is, how are we gonna construct this? It's kind of a pie-shaped lot. Are there gonna be trucks on the street and that kind of stuff? So we very clearly explained to people that we're gonna work from the back forward. So the properties that are in the back will be built first. So any of our equipment, staging, trucks, all that kind of stuff will be on the property as we move forward. Thank you for your time, and if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Anyone have any questions? I don't.
No questions.
I have one question.
Yeah.
How much, what's the dimension of the green space here you're gonna leave open for the neighborhood kids?
I don't know I mean, I'm gonna guess at it, Russell, it's probably 20 feet wide by about 10 or 12 feet deep. We're not giving them permission to play on it, but it is gonna remain the way it is now with the grass and an open space.
I see.
From a liability perspective,
Yeah,
we
I was
can't,
wondering about that.
not gonna happen. But, the look and feel is gonna stay the same.
I'm good.
Thank you. I know.
Thank you.
Can't get right into property and sue you. He wants that written. Yeah. That's Councilor Brodel that I want you to read that in.
You want
In
it read in?
favor, yeah.
Dear Clerk Griffin, due to scheduling conflict, I am unable to attend Tuesday night zoning board meeting. As such, please read this letter into record, REZBA case 24-76, 97 Sumner Street. I held a community meeting on the proposal June 6, 2024 at Clifford Marshall Elementary School. There were a dozen or so abutters in attendance. There were initial questions surrounding drainage, rodents, property lines, fence, trees, construction timeline, and management. Afterwards, a number of area residents emailed and called both myself and the owner's rep. For the clarification, I attended a site visit with one nearby Harrington Ave property owner. As you know, this proposal was also heard at the planning board level and received a positive recommendation after the public comment period in which some of the neighbors spoke. That being said, all issues that I am aware of have been addressed by the property owner and representative who have been responsive, knowledgeable, and open to compromise. They are before you today for variance, RE setback, FAR on behalf of my constituents. The project seems like it will be a good fit for the neighborhood. Should this project be approved, I know this team will be considerate during the construction phase. I recommend them for their hard work and reasonable approach to residential development. Thank you sincerely. Richard C. Ash, Esquire, Council Ward 2.
Thank you. Does there anyone want to speak in favor? Please step forward, name and address to the record, please. Yes, so we can put it on, and then we got it all there and know who said what.
Name's Frank DeCristofaro. I live at 1248 Forest Street, Marshfield Hills. I own the property right next door, number 93. And I've never got any notification of any of these other meetings. This is the only notification I had for this project. Now, I'm in favor for the project, but there's a couple of concerns I have. My property is on the right side of looking from Sumner Street in. On my property line, there's a couple of trees that should be taken down, which is on that property, and I think you addressed that you were gonna take them down. The other thing is the chain link fence that's there, I believe is the new owner's fence also. I like to see that being taken down when they put the new fences up. During construction, I'm assuming they're gonna put chain link fence with netting so that debris and things don't blow into my property, because right next door is a big patio where my tenants have cookouts or whatnot. All right. So basically, I'm in favor of the project. I think it's gonna look good. If you wanna buy my house and do the same thing, I'll give you a good deal.
Thank you for hanging in tonight and speaking in favor. Is there anyone else like speak in favor?
Can I just make one point?
Yeah, 1 minute. Anyone else want to speak in favor? Second call, third call? Go ahead.
So I know this has come up a couple of times, and Mr. DeCristofaro, I apologize. So the way that abutters are notified, and we went through this with Ms. Ranieri and her mom, so sometimes they're taken from voters lists, and sometimes they're taken from an owner's list, like where the tax bills are sent. There's not a consistency between the counselors and the way the city notifies the abutters. So we tried to explain a number of times, that's not us. It is not the property owner or the developer. So we don't have control over that. But Councilor Ash has made changes in his process for notifying neighbors that they're combining the lists. But from a notification perspective from the city, it's much different than the counselor. So it's not us, yep. And
They do the residents there.
right, so it's the
We
residents, yeah.
get a list, who owns that property gets noticed, because you might have a thought, all of a sudden you don't want something, or you do want something.
Right, and just one other thing, so, it was mentioned about the property immediately on the right-hand side, this gentleman owns it. So the fence and the trees that I spoke of, are on the left-hand side of the property, but we are happy, the chain link fence is coming down on your part of the property. And we are gonna take down any trees that are diseased or a problem. But I just wanted to make sure everybody understood, we didn't avoid him.
No.
It's just the notification process.
As an owner, he should have got notified, though, I don't know how that happened. Is there anyone else, or anything, we gotta call our part of the hearing close. DPW letter, they've reviewed the above referenced project, have no comments. Is there anyone opposed or undecided? First call, please step forward, name and address for the record, please.
I'm Barry Kroll.
Wait a minute, you gotta wait till you get to the mic, only because everything's on tape.
I'm Barry Kroll. I live on Cyril Street, so we're the next street over,
Yeah.
parallel. I have a child that's here that plays in that, and I can't see it on here, the field that they're talking about. My understanding, and it sounds like the field that they don't want our kids to play on anymore, is not the land that they'll be using. It's land that's actually our across the street neighbors that she has let the children play on for quite a while. I believe it was at one time a dump ground, so I'm sure they can't start digging that up. There might be environmental concerns, I don't know that. But my main concern is the fact that everything is 4 feet from every other property, and we have friends that abut this. I'm surprised they're not here. But in any case, there is no street parking anywhere. People tend to use our street for street parking. This seems very dense and not enough parking for visitors, that type of thing. So those are my concerns. I'm not necessarily opposed because I believe that
understand what you're saying.
yeah, those homes do need to be replaced and replaced with something good living. We're just concerned about the density, the parking, and that playground that our children have been using for the 30 years that we've been down there.
Is that the playground you're talking about, the same one?
So it's not a playground, it's a grass area,
It's a yard.
Oh.
So at this far point, it's right here. Yeah, sure. So this area here, and we show it here.
So where's Cyril Street, the home, so Cyril Street would be here?
Let's,
It actually runs, sorry.
Yeah, Cyril Street's down here.
right, in basically this direction right here, right?
Right. So, yeah, you're talking about this yard, which the,
No, there's a yard over here.
right,
This really comes to like kind of a point here.
right.
And there's another yard.
So it should
Is
be
that-
fenced
are you
off,
on that
you're
side?
not, you're
It's not
not,
gonna be fenced off.
you're not across the fence then, you're not talking about across the fence.
No. Oh.
Okay, so you're not talking about the land where the children are currently playing, because that's all fenced
I
on our
don't know,
side.
I don't know where they play, but I
Okay.
was told by the abutters that this kind of open space,
Mhm.
the kids, sometimes they go over there and play soccer, or they
That,
eat
yeah,
bikes or.
that might be the Sumner,
Yeah.
Sumner Street kids, okay, that's
Yep.
my confusion, because we have not been, privy to any of the planning. And hence our concern,
Yeah.
so, we're not 100% opposed, we're just concerned, that's all.
And I'm not sure how we had heard from you before.
Again,
Right.
we received no, I'm sorry, Tiffany Black and I live with my husband, Barry Nicole, 15
We just saw Richard ask,
Yeah.
I mean, we're in communication. with
We
him.
received no notification either, so
Wow.
of course we care about the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Again, we agree
Right.
that homes are blighted, but our position is that it is an extraordinarily dense area. And
Yeah.
just think of even more folks, people park on our dead end all the time who want to visit and come and sit. So it ends up just being a very challenging area.
Mhm.
Walking, don't get me started on snow removal and where you jockey around
right.
for cars.
Where
and
you're putting it, yep.
yeah, it's just extraordinary in our neighborhood. Again, the homes are blighted, but to think of now jamming in so many townhomes to a neighborhood that had previously been singular residence or even double residences, it just really shifts. Even if Sumner seems overdeveloped, a lot of the back streets.
I know,
are, and it's
they're
just the
adding
neighborhood.
two is what.
Yeah,
they're
we're
doing.
adding 2 units,
Two
there's an
units.
existing 3
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It with
Not a whole bunch.
12 parking spaces. I understand your concerns, and I don't mean to make light of them.
No, I
Yeah,
understand.
I just
understand
wish we had the
depth of your
opportunity.
Thought and presentation, we just had never been included in any of it, so I appreciate it. Sorry, here's one of the children. Clifford Marshall trying to behave herself well for the meeting, thank you.
Thank you.
So as you can tell, there's a problem with the
Right.
notification stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, someone's gotta look up, Mr. Chris Fowle, see where that is, why his name wasn't on there. All right. Is there anyone, else opposed or undecided? State your name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, they're in this street, and I think they're thinking that this was their, yeah.
Hi, I'm Christina Ranieri. I'm not necessarily opposed. I'm 11 Harrington Ave. I represent 11 Harrington Ave, which is a family building. We have had some questions, Helen and her team and the builder, everybody seems quite accommodating. I guess my question is like this area that everybody plays, we assumed for the last 50 years it belonged to this guy at the end named Wayne Gauthier. He maintained that property. It's not really a playground. There's a lot of swearing and crazy stuff. I can't imagine buying one of those buildings abutting that playground. I figured you guys would put up a giant fence. It's pretty wild what goes on there. You hear the F words flying and people throwing things, and I just see broken windows. But that's beside the point. It's not my problem. I'm not going to buy one of those. They've been very accommodating, I have to say. My only issue is, as I am a school teacher, and I am protecting family property that my father built 55 years ago. My name's on the building. I'm not a builder. So I look to the planning board and zoning. Just tell us what's right. We have no problems on our lot. We don't have flooding. We have very happy tenants. We keep a very nice profile. The building's beautiful. Richard came, and so everybody's been wonderful. I just don't know it's too much. This seems massive to me, but I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. They bought the land. There are laws that protect them. They bought the land. I get it, but it's up to zoning. You guys are all very nice. It's yuckity yuck, but yuckity yuck, I own the building next to this. And so if I end up with rats or flooding, I'm already talked to my mom about putting French drains around the whole property because the snow removal area abuts us. Now, I can't say enough about Helen's negotiation skills. These people have been very nice so far. But the truth is the truth, that their snow removal area is against our property. They've been accommodating with our little pie-shaped piece of land that we've assumed was ours. I mean, I don't know what a variance is either. So, no, an easement, are we calling it an easement?
Easement, yeah.
So what is an easement? Does that mean the fence comes down or the fence remains?
Gives you permission to be on that property.
Okay, but they're not necessarily gonna make a gate there.
No, he said they're not.
Right, so I really shouldn't even be up here. I don't wanna tick you guys off because we're gonna be neighbors. I guess I'm just concerned, I'm concerned for my own property.
It is gonna build it, someone else is gonna live there.
What?
It is gonna build it, someone else is gonna live there.
I know, that's what I'm afraid of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my blood
It's
is.
like a house, brand new house, same thing, condo.
I know,
brand new.
and we went through this in
But
Braintree
if
and
they're
they're.
investing that kind of money, they're gonna take care of it.
I think so, but I guess this is where you look for zoning and you're like, just protect the neighbors. I don't know what the laws are. We don't have water problems, we don't have flooding problems. We've managed all ours, but I don't wanna sit like a sitting duck and then end up with a big flood. Now I'm like, oh crap, I should have spoke up at the zoning meeting because, you know, now we have to put French drains around our property. I'm not sure what the right thing to do is.
I know, you had three units there before, on that whole property.
Yeah, but the whole, you have to understand,
I
my
understand.
panic is that the whole back, and they're awful homes, these people are absolutely right. So this is gonna be an improvement. But the whole back was empty, so what was abutting our property was all empty fields.
Everyone hates change, I get it.
It's not that I
Yeah.
hate change, you have to protect the neighbors, and I'm not sure what that means.
And they also got a right to do what they wanna do on their
And
own
exactly,
property, too.
and it seems
So
like
you
they're
get-
following the
and I think
laws.
Listening to these people, the way they work with the neighbors, they do a great job. A lot of people don't do that.
It seems
A lot of
like
people
it.
don't.
It seems like it. But when people are talking about overcrowding, and the only reason I even got up here is because those people that are now in the back, there is a huge communication problem with who gets what mailings. It's nothing to laugh at. It is
It's not,
infuriating. And it's the only reason why I even got up here, because I want to tell them I was so angry when all my tenants that pay rent to me tell me, we got this, we got this, we got
That's
this.
from the counselor. That comes from the
No,
council.
I was told, because the counselor is lovely, but sent me on a wild goose chase. One day I was on calling the zoning, calling planning board, calling these departments I never even heard of.
The owners of the property get notified. The owners of the property, we notify. This board does. The owners. We don't notify
But I
tenants,
think
that's
from the
not our
beginning,
job.
I know.
We wanna know whoever owns that building, you're gonna be impacted or not impacted, but come and listen to the meeting.
Well, I think the whole reason that my feathers are up and I'm
I'd like to
concerned.
know why he wasn't on the list.
Well, that's what
He owns the
happened.
property.
It's what happened to
I would go
us.
check, I'd go up City Hall and say, hey, where's my name, why ain't it on the list? and
It
why
is a
wasn't
big
given
problem.
out?
It made me very distrustful from the start, and I've been a little edgy at
I
these
don't think
meetings.
no one did. I mean, today in computers, believe me, we
It's
all
not
know.
computers. I'm gonna tell you, it
Oh,
almost
it
seemed like a
is.
mindful thing. Because then they're like, go to this constituent office, blah, blah, blah.
No, I don't believe
Nobody
that at
knew
all.
what I was talking about, and they all agreed that we should have been notified from the start. So, you guys
Alright.
let them do what's legally fine,
You got
just
it.
protect the neighbors, and,
Yeah.
but we need to do something about the communication, because
Yeah.
it makes you very
That's
distrustful.
not me, though, I don't do that.
Maybe it's not
Thank
you,
God.
but you guys are here when we're all like doing other things, and you can spread the word, like
That's
Councilor
why
Ash
we
has
ask
been.
questions, that's why we wanna know what they're doing,
Yeah.
how they're building, what's in the outside of the building, what's in the inside.
All
What are
right.
you doing this, what are you doing there?
Thank you for your time, just
Thank
just
you.
protect the pre-existing neighbors,
I
let
hear
them
you.
do what they wanna do.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Can I just respond to one of those things real quick? So just to
My
touch on
turkey's
real quick to respond.
thawing.
So
Say Caltech, Eric, say Caltech
yeah,
and sit down.
I had gone over it sort of briefly beforehand, but during the planning board process, we had some very extensive drainage design review that was done. We dug test pits out on the site. We took a look at the soils that are out there. There's very good, very well draining soils out there. So our stormwater system, the driveway area, again, I know it looks large, but that driveway area is designed so that like the water goes directly through the pavement, that this type of pavement we've specified there. We have another system out there that's gonna collect and infiltrate rainwater. So based on the design that we are required to do, we had to prove in all of our reports and everything that there's actually going to be, less water leaving the site than was currently there. And another thing about the rodent control, we are required as well to provide a construction management plan that has a response to rodent control as well. So that will be done as well during the construction process. Thank you.
Thank you.
Man, one last thing.
Sure.
As I just looked at the plans, Cyril Street is a dead-end road. And what is gonna happen now is they're gonna pave basically up to a dead-end road, so, and I know my neighbor across the way was extremely concerned that this would be a throughway all of a sudden from Sumner going through Cyril Street, which would be a nightmare we already have a lot of speeding, a lot of on-road parking, the kids.
How you gonna get
So,
through? You can't get
right
through.
here at the end is
No,
where Cyril
no,
Street
no.
is.
It doesn't connect. And that's just going into the building, then it stops. They drive over their lawns and that. I mean, that would be bizarre.
Well, I know my neighbor was concerned, and this encroaches really close.
Yeah.
I think it goes over her driveway now, so.
Google, that's Google.
Okay, anyway, this does actually go through that.
It does. It goes to
Yeah, it
the
goes
Cyril
completely through
Yep.
the backside of our street and where the kids.
No one's
Currently
driving
flooding.
down
The property does, that's correct, but it's green space.
there. Right, oh, green space. All right. Anyone else? Undecided or against? Last call. Call our part of the hearing closed. I mean, there's a few things they're gonna,
I mean,
it's
there's
5 units.
There's a
It's
huge amount of
It's a
engineering
beautiful,
work
it's a
that was done here
beautiful
for
plan.
off-site
It's a
water
beautiful
migration.
plan for that, right. And I'm surprised, these guys don't come back and they want 7, 8, 9, and then we're gonna sit here and go through it 4 times till we get down to 5 again. And they just come in and did the right thing, and it's a nice piece of property. I'll be voting in favor.
I'll be voting in favor, once again, considering that there is no off-site water migration system now there.
Right.
That this is a substantial engineering to improve it, so
Yes.
I'll be voting in favor as
Yeah.
well.
I'll be voting in favor.
I am voting in favor as well.
Yep, also.
Have a motion, please?
ZBA 2476, Attorney Patrick Foley for a variance to demolish existing single and two-family homes and construct 5 new townhouses with 12
12.
parking spaces on the premises numbered 97 Sumner Street, Quincy, Mass.
Sorry.
I make a motion to accept as presented.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Have a motion to adjourn, please?
Make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor? Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and thank you. I'll see you next year. Madam Clerk, that's from all of us. That's also a little gift from us. Everyone on the board pitched in.
Oh, I know.
Go buy yourself. Have a nice weekend.